Hi guys, and welcome to Volunteer Orientation. This video is being done for those who are not able to make it to our original volunteer orientation. And so I'm just going to go over a few points with you and show you what you missed, if you will. So let's see if I can make this work. Yes, I think I can. Okay, so we just want to go ahead and tell you what a huge difference our volunteers make for us each and every year. We just recently sent over 700 volunteer applications to the board for approval. And annually, we have about 1,200 volunteers that apply to work here in our school. So, just to kind of give you an idea of what a big impact that does make on our school, if we were to have to pay someone to come and do the work that our volunteers do for us, it would total to be about $34,000 that we would have to pay someone to do the work that our volunteers do for us. So thank you so much, and just know what a big impact that you do make at our school here. So this year, a few things have changed for our volunteer application process. So I want to talk to you about that a little bit. First and foremost, every year you do have to fill out a new volunteer application, and you do have to fill one out at every school that you plan to volunteer at. You can fill it out as a paper copy, or there is a fillable version online that you can fill in. Unfortunately, though, it is not automatically sent to each school. You then would have to take that form and email it to each school if you choose to do the online version. Also, this part is new this year. I really want to draw your attention to this. So something that has changed this year is that each of our applications have to be submitted for board approval before our parents can come into the building to volunteer in our classrooms. So that also includes before anyone goes on a field trip and wants to be a chaperone for a field trip as well. Then once the board does approve your volunteer application, they will let us know, and West of our primary school will be calling each and every volunteer to let them know of their status and clearance as a volunteer. So, how do you volunteer here? There are lots of opportunities to volunteer at West Navarre Primary School. First and foremost, most of our parents really just want to make sure that they can attend and chaperone field trips, and that's perfectly fine. And to do that, you do just need to complete that volunteer and chaperone form. Others of you are interested in coming in and helping out in the classrooms. So, we have lots of opportunities for those of you who really want to work with students. There are opportunities to help with reading and math support. There are also lots of opportunities for art projects. And for those of you that are just really want to be in the classroom but don't feel comfortable actually working with the children, the teachers can really use your help too in filing papers and getting those weekly folders ready to go home. We also have opportunities in the media center, art, music. We have chorus here at the music at we have a chorus here at the school, and they often need volunteers to help. Our chorus is made up of approximately 160 kids, and so the more hands-on we have there, the better those performances are able to run. Obviously, our PTO is here and has tons of volunteer opportunities within PTO. I'm going to skip this one for a second and go down to school pictures. School pictures, that happens here every year. We have to photograph. We have 966 students as of today, so we have to photograph each and every one of those, and that does take many people to help make that process run smoothly. So there's another opportunity. And then finally, the bucket brigade. A bucket brigade is up in the front office. They are buckets up front where teachers have left projects for folks that maybe don't want to come to school to help out. Maybe they work, but you want to be able to contribute to your child's classroom as well. So you can come and get one of those projects, take it home and work on it, and then return it back to the front office in that bucket brigade. So a few things, as you've probably already noticed, that are different this year as well. Once you are approved as a volunteer, school entry procedures are important. You do have to have an ID and buzz into the school each and every time you come to volunteer. You'll sign in on the computer up front, and then you'll be given a volunteer badge to wear while you're here. You must wear that volunteer badge at all times. Please make sure it's visible so that we can see it. And then, if you will, make sure you are only going to the designated areas that you have signed in to volunteer with. For example, if you are coming and you're going to volunteer in a teacher's classroom, but your other student is having lunch right now, please don't go down to the lunchroom, or vice versa. If you're going to lunch, don't go to the classroom if you're only signed in to go to those spaces, those places. And that is for student safety, and also less distractions in the building so that we can ensure that learning is occurring. As a volunteer, your responsibilities will be simply to follow the teacher's request. We're never going to ask you to make any lesson plans or come up with an idea to help instruct our children. Our teachers will do that for you, and your responsibility is simply to follow out her request. Most importantly here, I want to draw your attention to this bullet here, which is confidentiality. As a volunteer, you're going to be privy to some information that we really need to keep just to you. That's not something we need to be talking about in the ballparks. For example, you may be working with a student who is really struggling with something, and that's not something that we want you to go out and talk to their mom or anybody else about, because we just need to keep that information confidential. Also, volunteers are not expected to discipline a student. That should never be the role of a volunteer, to discipline students. If there is ever a problem, if you would just bring that to the teacher's attention, and they will take care of the discipline. As a volunteer, you may not bring other children with you to volunteer. Those are our preschool age children. If you find yourself without a babysitter and needing to bring smaller children, that's probably not a good day for you to volunteer in the classroom. But you could come and grab one of the buckets from the bucket brigade if you wanted to, and take that home and work on it there. And lastly, a volunteer should never be asked to supervise a class in the absence of a teacher. If a teacher needs to run to the restroom real quick or something like that, you should never be left as the sole supervisor of a classroom. And all of our teachers know that. I just want to make my volunteers aware of that. And that's for liability reasons. You should not be left in charge alone of a classroom. So, with that being said, those are all of our highlights that we need to get to you guys. As future volunteers for our school, we truly appreciate your willingness to come in and share your time and your talents with us and our students. And it really takes all of us to make this school the success that it is. And so your willingness to volunteer is greatly appreciated. If you are interested in finding a place to plug in, please contact your child's teacher, or you can contact the front office at 936-6000. Thank you.